Alright everybody, today we're going to be looking at a channel that I haven't watched in a long time. I have absolutely no updates with how this channel is going. I haven't watched her in probably, I don't know, probably like 6, 7, 8 months at this point. The last time I think I actually watched a Brett Cooper video was when she was still with the Daily Wire. So today I just decided to take a look and see where the heck she is, because I really haven't heard of her in a while. So I almost thought she might be gone off the radar, off of the face of the earth for all I knew, but looks like she's still making the same old repulsive, awful videos. So yeah, so let's just get into it. You know what, let's watch this one, because I can already see, I mean, look at this, make asylums great again. I don't even know where to start on that, so let's just watch this shit.
So Britney Spears and Trump's latest executive order have a lot in common, and we need to talk about it. So I know that
I think it was a big mistake for her to leave the Daily Wire, I'm not gonna lie. I think she was young, she was cocky, and she thought she could make it on her own. I mean, yes, it's whatever. I mean, she has 1.59 million subscribers. It's not bad, but for somebody like Adam Mockler, who works for Midas Touch, as you guys know, and has barely even been on the scene, he is trailing right behind her. He has a total of like 1.45 million subscribers, so shout out to Adam. Please subscribe to his channel. Anyway.
Comparison might shock you guys, but I promise there is a reason that I am making the connection here. Now, to give you guys some context, last week, Trump signed a new executive order called Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. I believe that he signed it on...
So the first thing in that executive order should probably be putting himself in prison. I mean, because that would really clear up some of the crime in this country, let me tell you. That and maybe, you know, some of his other billion-dollar buddies.
On July...
You know what? Fuck it. Lock up the entire Congress at this point, you know? Considering they do all that insider trading, fuck it. Lock up Congress and lock up Donald Trump. You know what? I like this executive order. I like it. I like it.
24th. And to basically sum it up for you guys, this EO, it promotes the commitment of homeless people with severe mental health and addiction problems into like mental institutions and facilities. And it directs his team and the government at large to reverse rules that have been restricting this for decades. It also gives funding priority to jurisdictions that impose strict rules on homeless encampments, drug use, squatting in our American...
She's going to make it sound marketable, but I guarantee this is a bullshit executive order, and I guarantee there's some kind of loophole that allows for horrible, unhumanistic, rotten ideals.
Cities, etc., and it opposes federal funding for safe drug consumption and housing first initiatives that do not address the root problem of homelessness. And I was so excited.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you could say is a root problem for homelessness, but one of them is actually, you know what, hot take, Jeff Bezos. If you took 1% of Jeff Bezos' net worth and gave it to the homeless, we could solve the entire homelessness crisis in the United States. So if there's any problem with this, look no farther than some of the big top billionaires. That's not even Elon Musk, by the way. This is somebody who's in the top 10. So can you imagine if you took 1% of Elon Musk's wealth and put it to homelessness, what we could accomplish together? But no, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how they're drug dealers, how they have no jobs, how they're unmotivated, how they're lazy. Yeah, whatever.
To see this take shape. I think that all of this is incredibly positive. I cannot believe that a president has to oppose federal funding using our hard-earned tax dollars to oppose safe...
I can't believe he'd also use our hard-earned tax dollars to play golf for like, what, $20-30 million? I mean, that's pretty outrageous in my opinion. But... no, this is the real thing right here.
Drug consumption on our streets. I mean, that just seems like common sense, but I'm really grateful that this is something that he is doing. Now, of course, when this executive order rolled out, the media immediately lost its mind. But if they had been paying attention to Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement and everything that has transpired since then, they would know that some kind of executive order like this was coming and that it is a logical step forward. So let's dive in. But before we talk about that, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel if you've not already. And if you want to stay in the know about future live events, maybe new birth information. All right, so back to the story. Basically, what you need to know is that the Free Britney movement was a mistake. I completely believe that.
Yes. Strong, powerful women like Britney Spears should not be independent, really. I mean, I don't know who ever thought of such an outrageous idea. Obviously, they should be kept by a strong, powerful male who can take care of them, who can control them, who can be condescending to them, really. I mean, free Britney. What?
That it was a mistake. And I think that there is a lot that we can learn from it, not just in looking at Hollywood and Britney specifically, but at our society at large and our mental health crisis at large.
100%.
And I'm not sure, what broke Britney. We talked about Britney a lot in our Justin Bieber series. We touched on her a bit. I think I've talked about her in other episodes. But obviously...
Honest to God, I love how we're talking about free Britney in the whole debacle, basically. Love how we're talking about this instead of some of our most crucial, pressing headlines in the news right now. We're not talking about how, Texas is being redistricted through racial gerrymandering. We're not talking about Trump's illegal immigration detentions when people are literally going to their immigration hearings. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about free Britney. Yeah.
As a child, as a young woman, Britney was worked like a racehorse. She was hounded by the paparazzi and the media at a time when that was the norm. Her children were hounded. I mean, her life basically fell apart, and we all watched.
Which is exactly why she shouldn't be allowed to be independent. This is exactly why we need a strong, powerful man to control her life and make all the important decisions for her. Yes, I agree with you, Brett.
Media played a huge role in that, and obviously all of those things exacerbated any existing problems that she might have, already been dealing with behind the scenes. But the uncomfortable truth is that now, 4 years after the Free Britney movement was successful, we know that she is not well. We see that online every single
I wonder why. Maybe it's because people like you literally rail her every single day until she'll die, but...
day. Now, just as an example, if you do not follow Britney Spears on Instagram, which I don't know if I would encourage that you do. I was about to say that, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I would encourage people to follow you either, Brett. I don't think you're really a good role model for the next and upcoming generation, but I digress. Whatever.
Maybe don't. It's just a very, very odd trip on a daily basis. But in case you don't follow her, one example is that in a very oddly written Instagram post, Britney announced that she had just adopted a baby girl. That was not true. The media was reporting on it like, what does she mean? She just adopted this girl? No, she was actually, what most people think, she was speaking about these baby dolls that she has that she carries around. And so the media has now been able to put the pieces together and say, I think that that is what she meant. Her team came out and said, no, she did not adopt anyone. Sorry, that was, not what she was trying to say. And
I just want to pause and say, I don't really know, because I don't follow Britney Spears. I'm not a huge Britney Spears fan whatsoever. But, that being said, I do believe that she should have the right to be an independent woman and make her own decisions, considering her huge, massive success. But, whatever. That's why I'm going to this video. That's why I'm challenging Brett Cooper on this one, because I think it's utterly outrageous that she should claim that she shouldn't be independent in any way. I think that's just disgusting, but whatever.
That was just like the tip of the iceberg. She has also had multiple wellness checks over the last couple of years since getting out of her conservatorship, which was the reason why the Free Britney movement was started in the first place. And one of those took place after she posted multiple videos of herself dancing with knives. Just take a watch. So she posted.
Oh, I love that song. Oh my God, "Sadness" by Enigma. It's a great song. 1989, I believe. No, 1990. It's a great song. Check it out. But you know what? More importantly, I don't know why this is that big of a deal. I mean, if there were children in the background, if maybe they were in the video and she was putting it up to their necks, then that would be an area of concern. But if she's just doing it independently, dancing with knives, I mean, is there that big of a deal? She's not slitting her throat. She's not slitting her wrist. What is there that's so compelling that, oh my God, she can't be independent like this?
This online, and it prompted a wellness visit to her house. Multiple wellness visits. Now, just to drive the point home even more, another example is when things just started randomly burning down in her house, like her gym and her bathroom, and then her fireplace randomly exploded, burning off her hair and her eyebrows. Now, guys, these fires, the dancing with knives, the saying that you...
It's a little bit concerning, I won't lie, but Still, I think she should be independent.
Adopted a daughter when really you are just carrying around baby dolls. I cannot believe I have to say this. These are not normal incidents. These are not normal happenings unless you are somebody who knows somebody or lives with someone with a severe mental illness. And then unfortunately, like for people like me, that might...
Oh, for people like you who have a mental illness. Really? What, do you have narcissistic personality disorder? Bipolar personality disorder? Holy crap, Brett. I didn't know that, really.
ring a bell. And while her father, Jamie Spears, who was her conservator for, I believe 13 years or more, based on what we know, he allegedly took advantage of his role as her conservator.
All right, I'm
now,
just gonna
in a
skip through
recent
this, or else this
post,
is gonna
Kevin
be like an
said,
hour-long video.
me and a homeless man got him to stop. That is when he was talking about the man who was punching himself. And as a thank you, I got him a Dr. Pepper. This man refused help and then walked away. In all actuality, this is the important part, we don't have a homelessness crisis. We have an addiction and mental health crisis.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, I just want to point out that if you didn't know this already, you can actually take one example, one individual, one person, even a couple, even if there's like 5. You can take those 1 to 5 examples and stereotype and generalize an entire population of people. If one homeless person doesn't accept help and is maybe faking it, I mean, obviously that means all of them are. Obviously that means we don't have a homeless problem. We don't have a homeless crisis. Yes, absolutely. I don't know why I haven't thought about this before. Thank you so much, Brett, for bringing this to my attention.
Kevin's page, every single day, is full of videos and stories like this. These people are not well. They are also not safe, and they will not be fixed, or become functioning members of society with the current government and nonprofit initiatives. Like in California, where in the last 5 years since Gavin Newsom came into office, they have spent $24 billion on homelessness. That is since 2019. And guys, the situation is unsurprisingly unchanged. Like nothing has gotten better, probably because they have simply focused on just housing initiatives with which more often than not, individuals like the people that we just saw in those videos refuse for various reasons. Whether it's because they have no desire to live in a home, they want to be homeless, they get more money from the state if they're homeless.
Yes, I mean, everybody like this wants to be homeless, right? I mean, for the longest time when I was kind of a young boy, my dream was to be homeless and on the streets, hungry and starving. I mean, obviously, that is the better of the two lifestyles that you could inhibit, so...
homeless, or because it would require them to, get clean and pick themselves up to be functioning members of society. It would require them to take that step if they wanted to get...
Right, and that's just easy. I mean, getting clean, getting sober, I mean, I just don't understand why that can be, maybe a bit of a challenge and a bit hard to accept and, pick yourself back up. I mean, really, it's not that hard.
...into a certain shelter, and they are not willing to do that. They either can't or they're unwilling, which is the case that I personally am up against every single day. It is the problem that our state is up against every single day. Now, additionally, these motels, these interim housing, these shelters, they are often completely unequipped to deal with the severity of the mental health crisis that exists on our streets. Like this woman here, who has permanent housing and yet chooses to go sleep on the streets. This is another one of Kevin's videos, again, just explaining why the system does not work with these.
This is kind of like being black, I guess. Unless I were black myself, I'm not going to pretend like I understand everything and what it's like to, live in their experience. Same exact thing goes for this, just because I can understand, or just because it might be hard to understand why a homeless person wouldn't want to accept housing or wouldn't want to accept help, I'm not going to pretend that I can fully understand and put myself in their shoes, because I can't. I've lived a very privileged life. I mean, we're not rich or anything, but I have a roof over my head. I've had the privilege of getting a good quality education from our public schools. I have enough food so that I'll never go hungry. So I can't pretend to know what it feels like to be so disconnected from reality that I would be living on the streets, This is something that people like on the right, like Brett Cooper, just can't seem to understand. They can't seem to rationalize. They can't seem to understand how their experience is so different from their own. But whatever. You know what? I've had enough of this shit today. This is just ridiculousness, so I'm probably going to end the video here. If you liked it, if you want more content like this, please like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. With this movement, we can grow a community of resistance, and if you like this platform, please tell me. Like I said before, this is something that I'm really just kind of getting into. I'm not a seasoned journalist by any means, but with your help, with your support, I kind of hope to eventually pursue something like that. So thank you very much. And until next time, take it easy. Bye.